What's going on, Tricology family, and welcome back to another episode of the Tricology News Talk. And before we get in today's episode, we got to do a quick shout out and and remember those that just passed away just last weekend and this week. So first off, rest in peace to Aaron Carter, Takeoff from Amigos, and Kevin Conroy. So we lost two musicians that was legends in the making. They was gone too soon, and one voice actor that would never be replaced. He's a legendary voice actor as the Batman in animated series and video games. So rest in peace to those the three legends that there. And so for this episode today, we got a lot of mainstream news to talk about, and we got a movie review for y'all to talk about as well. So let's not waste time. Let's get straight onto it. So our first news for today: why Westworld got canceled by HBO after 4 seasons. So the Hollywood Reporter has some news on it. Yet linear ratings for the pricey series fell off sharply from its third season, and then dropped even further for season 4. Westworld critics average on Rotten Tomatoes likewise declined from the mid 80s for its first 2 seasons to the mid 70s or the late 2. Fans increasingly gripe that the show has become confusing and tagging into the most mythology, with lack of characters rooting for. Looming over for this is the fact that Warner Bros. Discovery CEO David Zaslav has pleaded that aggressively cost-cutting through networks insiders and maintaining that saving money was not the factor in the show's cancellation. So it's very hard to see that Westworld go. It is definitely one of those shows that you would definitely want to see over as the next season go, but sadly it's going to be gone. So it's crazy. So the RIP to Westworld. So if they're going to make it again, or if they're going to do maybe a reboot or spinoff, I don't know, but we'll see what's going to happen. But let's move on. Spielberg, Nolan, and Warner Brothers boss Zaslav discussed a meeting with the Superman reports. So this is what Comic Book Reader has to say. According to the Hollywood Reporter, Heat Vision newsletter, Spielberg and Zaslav recently met over lunch, what eventually grew including Christopher Nolan and the DC Studios CEO Peter Safran. Nothing is official as to know about what transpired at the meeting, but fans have since taken over Twitter to speculate about Spielberg's potential involvement in The Man of Steel 2. The concerns amongst fans, that is, the Oscar-winning filmmaker will be more than welcome to addition to Henry Cavill's Superman sequel. Now, I feel that maybe Steven Spielberg might get some involvement in this. I don't know if Christopher Nolan might get involved in this too, but I feel like it's gonna lead more into Steven Spielberg because both filmmakers individually. So Steven Spielberg has his own vision and creation. Same thing for Christopher Nolan. He has his own vision and creation. So it's going to be very quite interesting if they're going to be working together. But the question is, who's going to be the one to sit in that director's chair? That's the one we need to know. But we don't know yet. So hopefully we get some news that came out of that meeting and see how both of those filmmakers will be involved with Harry Cavill returning as Superman and getting a potential the Man of Steel 2. So sound like some good news, but hopefully we get some more news out of it. Moving on. Sylvester Stallone says he disagrees with Creed 3's direction, and this is a common word he has to say. Stallone expresses his discomfort with the direction of Creed 3 and his differentiated philosophies with producer Aaron Rinker and director and star Michael B. Jordan. This is a regretful situation because I know what it could have been. It was taken in a direction that is quite different for what I would have taken it. Stallone said, "It is a different philosophy. Aaron Rinker and Michael B. Jordan's. I wish them well, but I'm much more in a synopsis. I like my heroes getting the beat up. Yeah, I like my heroes getting beat up, but I just don't want them going to that dark space. I just feel that people had enough darkness. So, huh, I expressed my feelings on Creed 3 after I seen the trailer. So, um, Adonis, he's fighting his best friend that he was real close to. I feel like this is Apollo's version of Club Lane. That's how I feel about coming out of this trailer. So even though Stallone is not in the movie, but he still is one of the producers in the movie. So hopefully Creed 3 turns out really good. I know it will because Michael B. Jordan put his hard work into it, not only being the star of it and being the director of it in it as well. So hopefully Creed 3 turns out good, and I definitely can't wait to see the collision between Michael B. Jordan and and, um, and his former best friend's character. So definitely looking forward to it. All right, let's move on. DC shows on CW will be minimally moving forward. And this is what Common Burrito has to say. Netstar's executive VP and CFO, Leanne Galanta, stated during a quarter three earnings call on Tuesday that carries over programming for the CW's former minority owners, Paramount Global and Warner Brothers Discovery, will be limited going forward. The programming for the CW is in place for the 2022 and 2023 broadcast season that extends through the end of August and early September timeframe of next year. You will see that programming is consistent with what the programmers have historically had on the air for that time frame. Gala said, over the course of the next year, we are really working on to develop our slate, which will then come online in the 2023 and 2024 broadcast season. We will have some carryover commitments to the CBS and the Warner Brothers Discovery programming in that year, but it's millennial at this point. So, I'm kind of interested to see what they're gonna do. So, hopefully we get some more news on that. Moving on, Andy Muschietti will direct the Justice League 2, claims the report. That sounds interesting. In case y'all didn't know, he will be directing the upcoming Flash with Ezra Miller. So, let's see what he bring. But let's read the article that came from Fandom. In the recent reports, Andy Muschietti is rumored to be in touch with DCU and Warner Brothers Discovery about directing Justice League 2 after directing The Flash. All through, this is just speculation. There has been rumors about David Yassa taking over Man of Steel 2, but we just mentioned that that Steven Spielberg and Christopher Nolan might be involved in it, but we'll see how that goes. But both parent projects were essentially Zack Snyder's works. While Justice League went on to be directed by Joss Whedon, Man of Steel 2 is still looking for a director, much like the sequel of Justice League. Now, I gotta see how Andy Muschietti does in The Flash, so I kind of get my moral opinion on if he should be directing the Justice League 2. But it's gonna be it's gonna be very, very interesting. So we'll see how that goes. All right, moving on. Indiana Jones series is coming to Disney Plus. All right, so let's see what Variety has to say. Disney is actively looking to develop an Indiana Jones TV series for Disney Plus. Variety has learned exclusively from sources the Mouse House and Lucasfilm have already specifically been bringing up the possibility of a streaming show set in the world of the global trinologists. In general meetings of writers of late, sources say they are still looking for a writer to take on the project. Plus, there is no plot details available, given that it's unknown if the series will serve as a prequel to or a spin-off of the film's franchise, or as it will tie into the upcoming fifth Indiana Jones film, similar to how Disney has tied its Marvel shows onto Disney Plus in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So that is the question that we're looking for. Where does this Indiana Jones is set in the Indiana Jones franchise? Is it going to be a prequel? Is it going to be a spinoff? Or is it going to tie it into the upcoming fifth Indiana Jones 5 movie? That's the question we want to know. So hopefully we'll get more into details soon. As you guys already know, Indiana Jones is coming out next year. So hopefully we'll get more details by then or later on in next year coming up. Moving on, Shang-Chi's Similarly set to confirm that he is in the Avengers of King Dynasty. So hopefully he's in there because if you guys have watched the first Shang-Chi movie, The Legend of the Ten Rings, and if you guys saw the mid credits, he had a meeting with Bruce Banner and also Captain Marvel. So and along with Wong too. So that kind of gave you a hint that he will be in the Avengers movie. So, but let's see what Screenwriter has to say. Marvel Studio has not yet made any casting announcements for the Avengers 5, aka Avengers Kang Dynasty, leaving audience to expect about which MCU characters will be involved. During a recent interview with Comic Book, Summer Lee was asked about Destin Daniels' creating and directing the movie. He shared his excitement to see how his Shang-Chi director does with a grand scale of the Avengers. But Lee also seemingly hit that he is part of the cast for Avengers 5. The actor wrapped up his praise for Christian directing the movie by saying, "I am so excited to get to work with him again." The outline then asked if he confirms that he will be returning as Shang-Chi in the Avengers The Kang Dynasty, leading up to response, "I would think so. I would hope so. Don't take my word for it, but I believe that he will be in Avengers 5 because we're in the multiverse of right now, and you're going to need all these characters to go against Kang the Conqueror, who is definitely going to be a big villain just like Thanos, and then in Secret Wars, that's when they probably going to introduce a Doom. So it got to be big. You got to bring all these characters in. So hopefully we get more details on it on the two Avengers movies soon. But don't worry, Shang-Chi will be returning soon. But yeah, I really believe so. Moving on, Steven Spielberg blasts Warner Brothers for throwing filmmakers under the bus. So he's kind of like explaining what happened during the in 2021 when Warner Brothers did the unthinkable of doing in theaters and streaming on HBO Max for 30 days. When their movies came out in 2021. So this one he was talking about. But let's see what he had to say. The pandemic created an opportunity for streaming platforms to raise their subscriptions to a record-breaking levels also throws some of my best filmmaker friends under the bus, as their movies was uncontrollably not given theatrical releases. The Spielberg said they were paid off, and the films were certainly regretted. In this case, HBO Max. So, like I said before, as fans, we was excited for the when those Warner Brothers movie came out in 2021 and with HBO Max. But there's still some part of us that want us to go back into the movie theater. So like you check out all these movies that's upcoming on, and you think about like, which movies should I see in theaters, and which ones should I stay home and watch that on HBO Max? You're like, you get what I'm saying? So it was a very difficult time during the pandemic year. I would say from 2020 to 2021, but here in 2022, it's getting a little bit better, but it's not like it was in 2019. It's very different from where it is, where we are right now in this new normal. But yeah, I would say definitely from his opinion, definitely the streaming service has gained a lot of got a lot of raise from this pandemic situation, and now the theaters are coming back for what they once were, and they're getting more people coming back to the theaters. So yeah, there's a lot of highs and lows, a lot of positive and negatives here, but I understand what Steven Spielberg was coming from his opinion here. But moving on, Wakanda Forever is the only certified fresh MCU movie of 2022. Let's see what this article has to say. Black Panther Wakanda Forever is officially certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, making it the only MCU film of 2022 with that accolade. The sequel to Black Panther, one of the Marvel Studios' most acclaimed movies, is the superhero film franchise last theatrical release of the year and brings MCU Phase 4 to a close. The 2-year period of post-Endgame Marvel storytelling has been a tremendous, one usually rival franchise, sparking numbers fans that debate whether the overall quality of its output has started to slip. So yeah, so I would say most of the Phase 4 movies has its ups and lows. I would say the best movies that came out of Phase 4 is Shang-Chi, Spider-Man No Way Home, and Black Panther Wakanda Forever. So that's my opinion on Phase 4 if you had to ask me. But yeah, I would say because most of Phase 4 was you had one side you had your list of movies, and also you had your list of series going on. So yeah, so hopefully we're gonna get more better content and get more better views in Phase 5. So like they said before, Black Panther Wakanda Forever is the end of Phase 4, and now we're entering into Phase 5. So hopefully we get more excitement into Phase 5. And then last piece of news, all DC movies, shows, and video games will be connected into one story. And this is what common reader has to say. Under the leadership of James Gunn and Peter Safran, the new created DC universe seemed poised to extend well beyond live-action feature films. Warner Bros. Discovery CEO David Zaslav recently held a global Zoom meeting for all company employees, during which he introduced a new appointed DC Studios co-chairman and CEOs Gunn and Zaslav. According to a report from Deadline, Zaslav mentioned during the meeting that the plan is to build a Bible of the cohesive DC universe, one that overarches across the live-action films, TV, animation, gaming, and more. So, I like this new plan that they're going with. Hopefully, let me just say this: hashtag DC Rises. that's what I'm going to say. So I am definitely excited and definitely looking forward to what DC has planned for not only for movies, TV shows, and video games as well. So definitely excited. That's some great news there. But that's all the news I have for you guys today. So with that, let's get into our movie review for y'all today. So it's that weekend that we go back to Wakanda, and we got our latest sequel to the first Black Panther, and that is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. So and once again is directed by Ryan Coogler, and once again it stars Letitia Wright, Lupita Nyong'o, Daniel Goyer, Winston Duke, Flora again, Dominique Thor, Michelle Korn, Tasha Horvath, Martin Freeman, Julius Lucas Devoy, and Angela Bassett. So in this movie, the leaders of Wakanda fight to protect their nation in the wake of King T'Challa's death. So going into this movie, we had a lot of questions to how they will take this story after the Black Panther star Chadwick Boseman died from colon cancer, and then with Marvel choosing not to recast the role of T'Challa, so they were figuring out, low, okay, how are we gonna do this? So it was very questioning of how they were gonna do this, and I know that everybody in this movie was kind of like on the edge of see like, oh, how we're gonna pull this through, even though that Chadwick Boseman is not with us, and like how we're gonna play off into this story. So going into this, I had my thoughts and opinions, and I had my excitement. So going into this, and looking at the teaser and the official trailers, so I saw that they was going for the Black Panther Doom War, from the Doom War storyline from the Doom War comic book. So that's why I feel like they was going at and in this movie. And let me also just say this: Letitia Wright, her role in the first movie, she was just supporting. She was just a supporting role in the first movie. Like she was just the comedic actor in the first one. Now going into this sequel, she definitely got a larger role in this movie. She had a more serious role because like you see that if you guys have seen the trailer now, like she's gonna be the one to take over the Black Panther the name. So you guys already see that. So I definitely like how that she was portrayed in this movie. So like you could kind of tell like she was feeling grief that our brother T'Challa had passed, and she now you gotta or seeing her story and see like, oh, how she's going to be the new Black Panther, and how she's going to take it. So but I love her in this movie. She did very good. Lupita Nyong'o as Nakia. Let me say this about her. Um, I believe her character in this movie, she's like one of those, oh, even though I have my own city or people to take care of, but I'm still I'm still a Wakandan, and if you need any help, I will be there. So that's why I feel like with Nakia here. So and she was very great in this movie as well. So yeah, and then going to Daniel Gore as a Courier. So she was great in this movie as well. So and then you definitely see her going from okay, how I can say this not spoiler. So she goes from that being the being the general of the Domio to the midnight angel. So that was definitely shown probably in the comments. So she definitely developed the midnight angel there. So that was a good one from there. And I would say the comedy in this movie, I would say Riri Williams and M'Baku was the two funniest ones that in this movie. So let me say Riri Williams. She's gonna be Ironheart, and I feel that her role in this movie, she was kind of to me, she was kind of similar to America Chavez. If you guys remember America Chavez from the Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Movieverse, in the multiverse, that's why I feel like how the based on the role she is. But even though she still can protect herself and know how to make technology in the movie, but like you feel like, oh, she's one of the she's the main target for the villain in this movie. So, and speaking of the villain, Namor, he was great in this movie. I know the actor in this movie, even though he was not the right choice, some in some people's eyes was not the right choice to play as Namor. If you guys are familiar with the character Namor, like he was supposed to be he was an Atlantis type character. He was kind of like a if you really look at the character, like he was like a kind of like an Asian type of character in the movie, but they had to change it up for a Namor because like when you see the city was at, it's not called the Atlantis, even though it's based on the Atlantis, but it's not. It's called the Tucson, and let me say the city of Tucson. It was great, but my negatives. I wish we could have seen more, because like when you guys saw the very first Black Panther, like you got to see all of Wakanda, you got to see everything of what it's about, all the city, the people, everything. In Wakanda Forever, going to Kokon, you see some of it, but we really didn't see most of it. So if they decide to do a project with Namor in it, so hopefully we get to see more of the Togukon, and I want it to be like the Atlantis from for Aquaman. That's why I want to see. But yeah, but that's my one of my negatives going to is like we didn't really see much of Togukon, so hopefully when they bring Namor back, we get to see more of it. But Namor, you guys know that he's actually an anti-hero, but going into this, we know he was a villain, but I feel like he's kind of similar to Killmonger. He's like one of those villains. Like you definitely understand his motive or what he got to do to protect his people, and you're definitely on his side and based on his belief of what he got to do. But even though I don't want to do this, but I have to do this to protect my people. So yeah, so I definitely understand where it comes from. So hopefully we get to see more of a Namor in the upcoming future projects. And 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 speaking of Killmonger, he had a surprise cameo. I'm not gonna say where it happens, but that's all I'm gonna say. Um, Agent Ross and also Valentina was in this movie, but I think their characters was really not really necessary to be in this movie. Their parts could have been like taken off because I know some people was complaining about that the movie was kind of too long for what it is. I think that their scenes could have been taken out because they really didn't really make sense of what the narrative of the story was going for. But you kind of understand it when they get to the ending and the climax of the movie, because it definitely sets up for the for the Thunderbolts movie. So so yeah, even though those scenes should have been cut out, but you kind of understand it once they get to the climax of and the ending of the film. So that was one of my negatives about that, because I know some people were complaining about it. It kind of been, it was kind of too long. Like some scenes should have been cut out. So that's what one of the scenes that I would could have taken out. But I understand what they was going for in that. But and Ramonda, Angela Bassett. Let me just say this: if they don't give Angela Bassett an Oscar in these upcoming Oscars next year, I'm gonna be pissed, because she definitely poured her heart out into this into this movie, into this role, and if they don't give her an Oscar for this, I'm gonna be pissed. That's all that's all I'm gonna say, and that's all I'm gonna mention. But overall, it was a pretty good a solid sequel. Even though it's not gonna have a much impact that the very first Black Panther did, but it was a pretty good the solid sequel. And one of my other negatives, I would say, in the very first Black Panther movie, when they was doing the when it came to the final battle between the T'Challa and Killmonger, there was some CGI problems in it. Wakanda Forever did also have some CGI problems too, but when it came to the water and the underwater scenes, that was executed very well. The fight scene was great too, but some of the fight scenes could have been choreographed very well. But there was one fight scene in the movie that was really great. I'm not gonna mention what it was, but it was definitely was really good. And so in the opening and the ending of the movie, they did a really good tribute to Chadwick Boseman. And if y'all didn't cry, oh my goodness, like you didn't have to like get like the if I but y'all will be shedding a tear. That's all I'm gonna say. Even though you're not gonna be really crying, but tears will be draining down your face. That's all I'm gonna mention there. And yeah, pretty good, a solid sequel to the first Black Panther. I'm very excuse me. I'm very excited to see where it's gonna go for here in the next the future projects. And I know there's a Wakanda series gonna be coming soon, and also a Ironheart series coming soon. Hopefully, they will develop reveals more in the Ironheart series. So yeah, and all of it, I would definitely give this movie A minus. Even though some of us was clamoring to recast T'Challa, but because we're sad that now that the character is gone, that we're not to be able to get more stories that we want out of T'Challa. But I will say, even though we are in the multiverse saga, there still might be a chance they might recast T'Challa and bring him back. Because like I said before, we're in the multiverse, anything can happen. So That's all I'm gonna say. So yeah, I give this movie a A minus. A very good so solid sequel. Do I think it's better than the first one? No. But is it a good entertaining movie and a very good MCU movie? Absolutely. So yeah, but that's my thoughts on Wakanda Forever. But let me know your thoughts and opinion. If you guys have saw the movie this weekend, let me know what your thoughts on Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and let me know your thoughts and opinions on all the news I discussed today. And also, don't forget to if you're watching me on YouTube, don't forget to hit the like button, comment down below your opinions, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell when new episodes are uploaded. And of course, if you're following, don't forget to follow me on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and all the streaming podcast streaming platforms that you can listen to me on this podcast as well. But other than that, this is Trico, and I'm signing off. Peace.